Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while, but things have been a little hectic with our big move and everything else going on in the world right now. I hope all of you and your loved ones are doing well and taking care of yourselves out there. Okay guys, so I will be showing you how I made this doll for my baby girl from scratch. It will be a 3-part series, and in part 1 of this tutorial, I'll be walking you through how I made the blank doll body. So if you're interested in how I achieved this look, please stay tuned. Alright guys, let's get started. I have a yard of this brown skin tone cotton fabric. There are different tones that are darker and lighter in this particular brand, so I'll put the link in the description box of where I got mine. These are all the pattern pieces that I originally made myself. With that being said, I have created a PDF of this doll pattern that you can download for free in the description box. You'll need to cut 2 of the body piece, 1 of the front head piece, 2 back head pieces, and 4 of the leg and arm pieces. Here I cut all my patterns onto fabric. Starting with the arms and legs, I separate them to 2 pieces each and sew around with the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, leaving the straight edge at the top open. After sewing those together, I cut the excess fabric off the seam allowance right above the stitch. To help turn them right side out, I grab my loop turner. But first I start to turn the ends of the arms in at the bottom. I also use my fingers to help push it through. Then I insert my loop turner at the opening and latch the hook onto the end inside and pull the rest through inside out. I insert my loop turner once again to help push the fabric down along the seams at the end. I do the same for both leg pieces as well. After all 4 pieces are turned right side out, I give them a quick press, and this is what I end up here. When that's done, I set them aside. Next, I grab both of my back head pieces. Starting at each end of the corner curve, I sew in, leaving a 1-inch opening at the center. When that's sewn together, I grab the front head piece and line those 2 together, right sides facing in, making sure the back head seam allowance is facing out. Then I sew around with a straight stitch. Again, I cut the excess fabric off the seam allowance and turn it right side out at that 1-inch opening. I'll give that a quick press as well. To prepare the body of the doll, I take the legs and place them at the bottom and center them to my liking and mark at both ends for the opening. Then I place the arms at the top along the sides and mark both ends of the arms for the opening. I sew a 1/4 of an inch in along the edges, making sure to stop at each point in between the openings for the legs at the bottom and the arms on the sides with a straight stitch. Next, I carefully turn the body piece right side out, starting at the opening of the neck. I realized after that the opening at the bottom would have made this part easier since it is a much bigger opening, but either way is fine. After it's turned right side out, I fold the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance in at the openings and press them in place. When that's done, I have my prepared body piece. I grab my prepared head, leg, and arm pieces. Working with 1 piece at a time, I grab pillow stuffing to stuff each piece. You can use polyfill if you'd like, but you can also just grab a cheap pillow and use the stuffing inside and it'll work just fine. I also use a pencil to help with the stuffing. Working with a small piece of stuffing at a time, I push it inside of the opening, then I use my pencil to help push the stuffing through and make sure to pack it tightly. I continue to do that step till I fill it up nice and packed, making sure not to tear the seams. I do that for the rest of the pieces as well. I gather all the stuffed arm and leg pieces and the body piece. I insert the legs a ½ inch into the bottom opening. It ended up being a bit of a tight fit, so I just took my seam ripper and cut a few stitches on each side of the bottom opening to give more space to insert the legs. When that's done, I insert the legs once again and place them in position to my liking and pin them in place. Then I sew a top stitch along the bottom edge with a straight stitch. Here are the attached legs, and as you can see, the stitch isn't perfect and I had to do a double stitch to properly close the opening. You can fix the stitch if you make any mistakes, or you can hand stitch this part if it's easier, but I'm okay with it and I'll leave it as is. I do the same with the stuffed arms, inserting them a ½ inch into the arm opening and pinning them in place. Then I sew a top stitch along the opening edge with a straight stitch. Here's what it looks like after both arms and legs have been attached. I grab some more pillow stuffing and I begin stuffing the body through the opening at the neck, as I did for the legs and the arms. Again, working with small pieces of stuffing at a time, I use my pencil to help pack it down until the body is completely full. Here's the body after it's fully stuffed. After that's done, I fold the ends of the neck opening a ½ inch in and sew that closed with a straight stitch. Here's what that looks like after it's done. I grab my prepared headpiece that has been stuffed and hand sewn closed at the back opening. Right here at the bottom, about a ½ inch back from the seam, is where I'll position and attach the neck. As you can see at the side profile, it'll give the doll a more realistic look. To attach the head, I first place it in position. Then I pin it in place, making sure to poke the pins through the neck and the head in opposite directions on all sides until the head is fully secured. Next, I take my prepared needle and thread through, starting at the bottom of the back of the head where it meets the neck. Then I thread through the neck right underneath and pull tight. Again, I thread through the bottom of the head, then through the neck underneath and pull tight. I continue to thread through around the bottom of the head and neck. I make sure to stay as close to the crease where the head and neck meet, and I also make sure my stitches are as small and close together as I can make them. Here's what it looks like after the first round. I stitch around a few more times to tightly secure the head onto the neck. Here's a closer look of the head once it's been attached and fully secured. Also, I know it's not perfect behind the head with the fabric overlapping. No need to worry if you have that issue because it will be covered once I show you how to add the hair in part 2 of this tutorial. With that being said, every body part has been attached and my prepared blank doll body is complete and ready for face and hair in part 2 of this tutorial. Alright guys, that is it for part 1. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when there's a new upload. And I'll see you guys in part 2. Bye!